Have you ever wondered what it would be like to wake up every day without feeling rushed, without having to look for lost objects or decide at the last minute what to do next? What if I told you that there was a simple way to organize not only your home, but your entire life? The rule I'm going to share with you today has completely changed my routine and has helped thousands of people transform chaos into harmony. This method is so effective that you'll wonder how you lived so long without it. The 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule isn't just another quick fix organization tip. It's a complete system that balances every area of your life. In the next few minutes, I'm going to explain exactly how to apply this method so that in just 1 week, you'll start to feel the difference. And there's more. I'm going to reveal a secret that very few people know about how to adapt this rule to your specific reality. If you're tired of feeling like you never have enough time, or that your home is never truly organized, this video will change your life. Keep watching to find out how to transform chaos into clarity with a method so simple that anyone can apply it right away. Tip 1. Understand the philosophy of the 3/8. The rule of 3/8 is based on the perfect division of our day into 3 equal parts of 8 hours. This idea is not new, but the way we are going to apply it is revolutionary. Think about it. We have 24 hours in each day, no more, no less. The problem is that we often try to squeeze 30 hours of activities into just 24, or we spend too much time on one area of our lives and neglect the others. It is as if we are constantly out of balance, sometimes leaning to one side, sometimes to the other. The result? That constant feeling that something important is always left behind. Most people live like this, running after time, feeling like they can never get everything done. This is exactly where the magic of the 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule comes in. The first 8 represents the hours dedicated to rest and sleep. Did you know that a lack of adequate sleep harms not only your health, but also your ability to organize? When we sleep poorly, our brain loses the ability to prioritize tasks and make wise decisions. The second 8 represents the hours dedicated to work or study, those activities that occupy our mind and are necessary for our survival. And the third 8, which is the most neglected by most people, represents the time for you to take care of yourself, your home, and your personal relationships. The big mistake many people make is thinking they need more time, when what they really need is to better allocate the time they already have. Imagine that you have 3 jugs of the same size to fill with water. If you put too much water in one, the others will have less than they should. This is exactly what happens when we don't respect the balance between the 3 areas of our life. The philosophy of the 3/8 teaches us that each part of our day is equally important. When we understand this deeply, we stop sacrificing our rest or our personal time in the name of more work, and we begin to understand that the true secret of productivity lies in balance, not in overload. Tip 2. Map out your current day. Honestly, before implementing any change, we need to know exactly where we are. It's like when we want to travel somewhere new. If we don't know our starting point, not even the best map in the world will help us plot a route. Therefore, the first practical step is to make an honest mapping of how you really spend your time currently. And when I say honest, I mean it. Don't just write down on paper how you would like your day to be or how you think it should be. We need the raw reality, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. For 3 days, write down in a notebook how you actually spend each hour of your day. It doesn't have to be complicated. Simply divide your paper into 24 lines, representing each hour, and write down what you did during that period. At the end of 3 days, you will have a true picture of your routine, and be prepared for surprises. Most people are shocked to discover how much time they spend on activities that do not bring any benefit, such as aimlessly scrolling through their cell phone or watching programs that they don't even really like. Look at your results and see, how many hours do you actually spend sleeping and to work? What about your personal time, including home care, hobbies, and relationships? This exercise can be revealing and even a little painful, but it is absolutely necessary. We often think we sleep 8 hours, but in reality we only sleep 6. or we believe we work 8 hours when in fact it is 10 or more. I met a lady who swore that she dedicated at least 2 hours a day to taking care of the house. But when she did this mapping, she discovered that it was only 20 minutes between one task and another. This mapping is not for us to judge ourselves, but to get to know ourselves better. It's like taking a photo of the current moment without filters or editing. Only from this accurate portrait can we begin to make intelligent adjustments. Remember, we can't change what we don't know, and we can't manage what we don't measure. This small 3-day exercise could be the turning point towards a more balanced and organized life. Tip 3. Reorganize your sleep to boost energy. The first 8 of our magic formula is dedicated to sleep, but not just any sleep will do. We need truly restorative rest, which allows us to wake up full of energy to face the day. The problem is that many of us underestimate the impact of sleep on our ability to organize. When we are tired, everything seems more difficult. Simple tasks become mountains to climb, and our motivation plummets. Have you ever noticed how much harder it is to keep things in order when you are exhausted? It is no coincidence. Science has proven that during sleep, our brain processes information, consolidates memories, and literally does a mental cleanup. That's why when we sleep poorly, our decision-making ability, creativity, and motivation are compromised. How can we expect someone to keep their house tidy if they can barely decide what to wear in the morning? The first step to reorganizing your sleep is to create a nighttime ritual. Our brain loves routines and responds very well to signals that indicate it's time to slow down. Start by dimming the lights in your home an hour before bed. Avoid using your cell phone, television, or computer during this time. If you need to use a device, turn on the night mode to reduce blue light, as this is the main cause of confusion in our brains and disruption of the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Set a fixed bedtime and try to stick to it, even on weekends. Our bodies work in cycles, and the more regular our bedtime is, the easier it will be to fall asleep quickly and get quality sleep. Another important aspect is the environment. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary dedicated to rest. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. If necessary, invest in blackout curtains, earplugs, or a white noise machine. And don't underestimate the power of a good bed. A good mattress and pillows can make all the difference in the quality of your sleep. Remember, you spend a third of your life sleeping. This is not the place to skimp. Also, be careful about what you consume at night. Avoid caffeine after noon and limit alcohol, which may help you fall asleep but hinder the deepest, most restorative stages of sleep. Many people tell me that they can't get 8 hours of sleep a night. If this is the case for you, start by gradually increasing your sleep time. If you currently sleep 6 hours, try sleeping 6 hours and 15 minutes for a week, then increase to 6.5 hours and so on. Your body will adapt, and you'll be amazed at the difference even 30 minutes of extra sleep can make in your mood and ability to stay organized. Hey, I'm loving sharing these tips with you. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive notifications of new videos like this one. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Your participation is super important to me. Now let's continue with more powerful tips about the 8 plus 8 plus the 8 rule. Tip 4. Maximize productivity in your 8-hour workday. The second 8 in our rule represents the time spent working or studying. But make no mistake, it's not just about spending 8 hours in a chair pretending to be productive. It's about actually getting the most out of that time so that you don't have to intrude on other areas of your life. The big secret to productivity isn't working more hours, but working better in the hours you already have. Start by identifying your peak energy period. Some people are more productive first thing in the morning, others after lunch, or even at night. Figure out when your mind is sharpest and reserve that time for the tasks that require more concentration and reasoning. Next, adopt the time blocking technique. Instead of jumping from one task to another, or worse yet, trying to multitask, divide your workday into blocks dedicated to specific activities. For example, Set aside the first 2 hours for deep work that requires complete concentration without interruptions. Then set aside an hour to respond to emails and texts. Later, block out blocks for meetings, phone calls, and so on. The key is to respect these blocks as if they were sacred commitments to yourself. Another key aspect is to eliminate distractions. Studies show that after being interrupted, it takes us an average of 0.3 minutes to return to a state of deep concentration. Imagine how many productive hours you lose each day just due to cell phone notifications or unnecessary interruptions. Turn off notifications, put your cell phone on airplane mode if possible, and let your colleagues know that during certain periods you will be focused and should not be interrupted unless it is truly urgent. Also, learn to say no. Many of us end up overwhelmed because we don't know how to turn down requests, even when we're already at our limit. Remember, every time you say yes to something, you are implicitly saying no to something else. Carefully evaluate your priorities before making new commitments, and don't forget to include small breaks throughout the day. Our brains are not designed to focus intensely for hours on end. The Pomodoro technique, which involves working with total concentration for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break, can be very effective. Finally, set aside the last 15 minutes of your workday to plan for the next day. List the 3 most important tasks that need to be accomplished and organize your materials. That way, when you start work the next day, you won't waste time deciding what to do or looking for what you need. This simple practice can significantly increase your productivity and consequently free up time for other areas of your life. Tip 5. Turn your 8 personal hours into quality time. The search set of 8 hours is often the most neglected, but it is perhaps the most important for your sense of well-being and organization. These are the hours dedicated to your personal life, which includes home care, relationships, hobbies, and self-care. Many people sacrifice this time when they are busy as if it were less important than work or sleep. Big mistake. These 8 hours are essential for recharging your emotional batteries and maintaining balance. First, set clear priorities for your time. Don't try to do everything at once. Divide your 8 hours of personal time into categories such as household chores, time with family or friends, hobbies and leisure activities, and self-care. Then, allocate how much time you want to dedicate to each category. For example, you might set aside 2 hours for household chores, 3 hours for spending time with family, 2 hours for a hobby you love, and 1 hour for self-care such as exercise or meditation. When it comes to household chores, the key is to establish small daily routines rather than letting everything build up for a big weekly cleanup. 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night can make a huge difference in organizing your home. Make it a habit to never leave a room empty-handed. Always take something out of place with you. This simple practice can significantly reduce clutter. Another key point is to learn to say no to commitments that don't add real value to your life. We often accept invitations or take on responsibilities out of obligation, not because we really want to. Remember, your time is limited and precious. Dedicate it to the people and activities that really matter to you. And speaking of people who matter, set aside quality time for your relationships. This means being truly present without distractions like cell phones or television. 1 hour of undivided attention is worth more than 3 hours of physical presence without emotional connection. Don't forget to include activities that bring you joy and personal satisfaction. This could be an old hobby, a walk in the fresh air, reading a good book, or even taking a relaxing bath. These are the small pleasures that make life richer and give us the energy to face our daily challenges. And remember, self-care is not selfish, it's a necessity. When you feel good about yourself, you have much more to offer others. Finally, try creating a ritual to end your day. Before you go to sleep, take a few minutes to reflect on what went well, what could be improved, and what you're grateful for. This simple practice helps you process the day's experiences and prepares your mind for a restful sleep. These 8 hours of personal time are your treasure. Protect them with the same care you give to your work. After all, we don't work to be constantly stressed, but to build a life worth living. Tip 6. Create systems, not just goals. One of the biggest pitfalls in the quest for organization is focusing solely on goals without creating systems to achieve them. Goals are important, of course, but systems are what truly ensure consistent results over time. Think of it this way. A goal is wanting to lose 20 pounds, while a system is establishing the habit of walking for 30 minutes every day after dinner. The goal has an end, the system endures. And best of all, while goals can be frustrating until they are achieved, systems provide daily satisfaction in knowing that you are on the right track. When it comes to organizing your home, routine, and life using the 8+8+8 rule, you need to establish systems for each of these areas. For sleep, for example, it's not enough to just say, I'm going to sleep for 8 hours. You need to create a system that includes a set bedtime, a relaxation ritual, and favorable environmental conditions. For work, instead of simply wanting to be more productive, develop a system of time blocks, eliminating distractions, and taking strategic breaks. When it comes to home organization, systems are even more crucial. Many people spend hours tidying their homes, only to find them messy again within a few days. This is because there is no system in place. Create small daily routines, such as making your bed immediately upon waking, washing dishes after meals, and taking 10 minutes before bed to put misplaced items back where they belong. These micro-systems, when practiced consistently, eliminate the need for major, stressful cleaning. Another powerful tip is the one-touch system. This means dealing with each item only once. Got a piece of mail? Don't just put it in a pile and look at it later. Decide immediately. Read it, respond to it, file it, or discard it. Moved something out of place? Put it back where it belongs instead of temporarily leaving it somewhere else. This simple system saves a lot of time and keeps things naturally organized. For your relationships, create systems of regular connection. This could be a family dinner every Tuesday without cell phones at the table, a weekly call to a distant friend, or a play session with the kids every Sunday. Again, it's not about occasional grand gestures, but about small, consistent connections. And for your personal development, establish systems of continuous learning. This could be reading 10 pages of a book every morning, listening to an educational podcast on your commute, or practicing a new language for 15 minutes a day. The power of systems lies in automating desirable behaviors. When you have a system, you don't have to rely on motivation or willpower. You simply follow the established flow. Over time, these systems become habits, and habits are the building blocks of a truly organized and fulfilling life. Tip 7. Implement the micro-habit technique for lasting change. Completely changing your routine overnight is nearly impossible. That's why so many decluttering attempts fail. We try to make too big of a change, too quickly. The micro-habit approach offers a much more effective alternative. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire life at once, start with changes so small that they seem ridiculously easy. So easy that you have no excuse not to make them. A micro-habit should be so simple that it can be completed in less than 2 minutes. For example, instead of planning an hour of exercise each day, start by stretching for just 1 minute when you wake up. Instead of reorganizing your entire kitchen, start by putting just 3 misplaced items back in their proper places each day. When it comes to organizing your time with the 8+8+8 rule, micro-habits are the perfect way to start the transition. To improve your sleep, a micro-habit might be turning off your phone notifications 5 minutes before bedtime. To increase your productivity at work, it might be writing down your 3 most important tasks for the day on a piece of paper before you start. For your personal time, it might be setting aside just 5 minutes to do something you really enjoy, like reading a few pages of a book or listening to a song you love. The secret to micro-habits is that, despite how insignificant they may seem on their own, they have 2 superpowers. First, they're easy to maintain, which means you build a track record of success instead of repeated cycles of failure and guilt. Second, they tend to grow naturally. When you start stretching for 1 minute, you often end up doing 5 minutes because you're already there, you've already started, When you've accomplished 3 items, you often continue to 10 because you've gotten into a rhythm. Another important aspect of micro habits is the stacking technique, which involves attaching your new habit to an existing one. For example, after I brush my teeth in the morning, existing habit, I will make my bed, new habit. Or, after I turn on my computer at work, existing habit, I will write down my top 3 priorities for the day, new habit. This technique leverages the power of triggers already present in your routine to incorporate new practices. For each area of the 8-Plow-8-Plod-8 rule, identify 1 or 2 micro habits that you can start immediately. Write them down on Post-its and place them in visible places or set reminders on your phone. Most importantly, celebrate each time you complete your micro habit. This celebration, even if it's just a smile or a good job to yourself, reinforces the neural circuitry of the habit and increases the chances of repetition. Over time, these small daily steps will completely transform your personal organization in a sustainable way that doesn't feel overwhelming. Tip 8. Learn to say no to protect your balance. 8+8+8. One of the biggest threats to the balance proposed by the 8+8+8 rule is our difficulty in setting boundaries. We live in a society that glorifies constant busyness, and we often feel guilty for prioritizing our well-being. The result? We accept too many commitments, take on extra responsibilities, and without realizing it, compromise our precious balance between rest, work, and personal life. Learning to say no is therefore an essential skill to maintain the organization we are building. Saying no doesn't mean being selfish or unkind. On the contrary, it means honoring your existing commitments and ensuring that you can do your best in whatever you've agreed to do. When you say yes to everything, you end up not being able to fulfill any of your responsibilities properly. It's like trying to fill 10 glasses with only enough water for 5. They'll all end up half full, and no one is satisfied with half deliveries, neither you nor the people around you. Start by identifying your priorities in each of the 3 8-hour areas. What is truly important to you for adequate rest? What are the non-negotiables in your work? What aspects of your personal life are you not willing to sacrifice? Once you are clear about these priorities, it becomes easier to evaluate new requests that come your way. Ask yourself, would accepting this mean compromising any of my priorities? If the answer is yes, you have a good reason to decline. Also learn to recognize when you are saying yes only out of fear of displeasing others. We often accept things not because we want to, but because we are afraid of the negative reaction of the person asking for them. Remember, most people respect clear, well-communicated boundaries, and those who take offense at your refusals probably don't have your best interests in mind. A useful trick is the non-sandwich. Start with something positive, present your refusal, and end on another positive note or a constructive alternative. Practice saying things like, I really appreciate the invitation, but unfortunately I won't be able to participate this time. I hope we have another opportunity in the future. Or, I really value our partnership, but I won't be able to take on this additional project right now. May I suggest another approach or person who might be able to help? Over time, saying no will become more natural and less awkward. And best of all, you'll find that people will start to respect your time more and make requests that are more aligned with your priorities. Don't forget that saying no to excess is saying yes to balance. Every time you protect your 8 hours of sleep, your 8 hours of focused work, and your 8 hours of personal life, you are investing in your physical, mental, and emotional health. And a well-balanced, well-rested person has much more to offer the world than someone who is constantly overwhelmed and exhausted. Before I move on to the next tip, I want to tell you about something special I prepared for those who want to go beyond this video. It's a complete guide with organization secrets that completely transformed my home and can transform yours too. The link is in the pinned comment, and for a limited time, I'm offering a special discount for channel subscribers. Now let's continue with the next tips, which are some of my favorites. Tip 9. Use the theme day technique to simplify decisions. One of the reasons we feel overwhelmed, even when we try to follow the 8+8+8 rule, is because we have so many decisions to make on a daily basis. Studies show that our brains have a limited capacity to make decisions before we begin to experience decision fatigue, a state in which the quality of our choices decreases dramatically. That's why figures like Steve Jobs always wore the same outfit, to eliminate a daily decision and preserve mental energy for more important matters. The theme day technique works in a similar way, drastically simplifying your routine. The concept is simple. Instead of deciding each day which household chores to do, which projects to work on, or which personal activities to prioritize, you define themes for each day of the week. For example, Monday might be laundry day, washing, ironing, organizing closets. Tuesday might be bathroom and kitchen cleaning day. Wednesday might be paperwork and bills day, and so on. At work, you might dedicate Mondays to meetings and planning, Tuesdays to creative work, Wednesdays to analysis and reporting, and so on. This approach has multiple benefits. First, it eliminates the daily indecision about what to do. When you wake up in the morning, you already know what the theme of the day is and can start without wasting time contemplating possibilities. Second, it creates a rhythm that your brain learns to recognize and anticipate. By Monday, your mind will already be naturally prepared for the type of activity associated with that day. Third, the theme day technique makes it much easier to say no to distractions. If someone suggests an activity that doesn't align with the theme of the day, you have a clear reason to reschedule it. The key to success is to choose themes that are broad enough to accommodate variation, but specific enough to direct your focus. For example, self-care day is better than simply me day. Creative project day is better than just creativity day. It's also important not to be too rigid. Themes are guides, not shackles. If an emergency or exceptional opportunity arises, you still have the flexibility to adapt. Many people find that this technique completely transforms their productivity and sense of control over their routine. Instead of trying to do a little bit of everything every day and ending up feeling like nothing really got done, you can focus your attention on specific areas and see tangible results. And when applied to the 3 areas of the 8+8+8 rule, sleep, work, and personal life, the theme day technique becomes even more powerful, ensuring that you dedicate quality time to every important aspect of your life. Try it for 2 weeks and watch your mind become clearer and your home and routine more organized, simply because you've drastically reduced the number of decisions you have to make each day. Sometimes the secret to organization isn't getting more done, but simplifying the process of deciding what to do. Tip 10. Weekly review. The secret to keeping your system running. No organizational system, no matter how perfect, runs on autopilot forever. Life changes, priorities shift, and unexpected challenges constantly arise. This is where the practice of a weekly checkup comes in, the most powerful secret to keeping the 8+8+8 rule working in a sustainable way over the long term. Think of it like the regular maintenance you do on your car to prevent major problems. Without regular checkups, even the best system will eventually start to fail. Set aside an hour of your weekend for your weekly review, preferably on the same day and time each week, to create a consistent habit. During this hour, you'll analyze how the past week went and plan for the coming week, always keeping the 8+8+8 rule in mind. Start by looking back. How was your sleep? Did you manage to get your 8 hours of rest? If not, what got in the way? At work, did you stay focused on the 8 productive hours? Or did you end up overextending yourself and invading your personal time? What about your 8 hours of personal life? Were they actually dedicated to meaningful activities, or were they consumed by distractions? Don't do this exercise with a sense of self-punishment, but rather a sense of learning. Identify patterns, recurring obstacles, and opportunities for improvement. Then look ahead. Analyze your schedule for the next week. and check if it respects the 8 plus 8 plus the 8 balance. Are there meetings scheduled for times when you normally dedicate yourself to rest? Are there personal commitments piling up that will require extra time? Is it better to redistribute some tasks or even cancel non-essential commitments? A key component of the weekly review is systems adjustment. You may find that you need to adjust your sleep schedule, or that a certain day of the week always presents specific challenges. Use this information to make small adjustments to your systems. For example, if you find that you always end up working late on Wednesdays because of a meeting, plan lighter household chores for that day. The weekly review is also a great time to acknowledge and celebrate victories, no matter how small. Did you get a better night's sleep? Did you finish an important project on time? Did you spend quality time with your family? Acknowledge these successes. They can be a great motivational fuel for the week ahead. We can often focus so much on what went wrong that we forget to notice how far we've come. Finally, use your weekly review to renew your commitment to balance. Remind yourself why the 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule is important to you. Visualize what your life will look like when this system is fully integrated into your routine. This review practice, when done consistently, becomes an anchor that keeps you from falling back into old disorganized habits, even during challenging weeks. It's what transforms the 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule from a nice theory into a transformative practice that truly organizes your home, your routine, and your entire life. The transformation you want won't happen overnight, but it certainly won't happen without regular practice of analysis and adjustment. As the old proverb says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same applies to your personal organization. Start your first weekly review today and watch as, week after week, your life gains clarity, purpose, and harmony. You now have all the tools you need to implement the 8 plus the 8 plus 8 rule in your life. From understanding the philosophy behind this system to creating sustainable habits, you have learned how to balance the 3 fundamental areas of your existence. There is no magic formula for a perfect life, but there is a clear path to a more balanced and organized life. And that path starts with the decision to respect the time you dedicate to rest, work, and yourself. Remember, true organization isn't just about having a tidy home or a well-planned schedule. It's about creating physical and mental space for what really matters in your life. When you find the balance between taking care of yourself, fulfilling your responsibilities, and nurturing your relationships and passions, the feeling of chaos gives way to a calm clarity about what really matters. And that, more than any system of organization, is the true goal of the 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule. I sincerely hope that these tips will not only help you implement the 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule, but will also inspire you to reflect more deeply on how you use your time, the only truly irreplaceable resource we have. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to receive more content like this. Let me know in the comments which of these tips you will implement first, and if you already knew or practiced the 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule in any way. And remember, the journey to a more organized life is not a straight line, but a path of small daily adjustments. Be patient with yourself, celebrate each small step forward, and trust the process. Day after day, week after week, you'll find that the balance provided by the 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule doesn't just organize your routine, it completely transforms your quality of life.